here we are again at the mouth of the decline, or the mouth of the adit. We just want to point out what we're learning here about the rocks. So you can see the rocks are not horizontal, they're dipping. I'll turn the camera to line up with the rocks, and that's maybe a 60% decline. So now the rocks are in a straight line heading down into the earth. I'll bring the camera back here. And so that's telling us, obviously, that the rocks were not created at that angle. They were created at flat lying, and they've been thrust upwards. We think that's from the action of the Labrador Trough, when what is now Labrador bumped into the largest piece of North America called the Superior Craton. Bumped is a word that describes 100 million years of activity. And the mouth of the decline here is right where that really soft rock in small pieces meets the larger rock, and then as we get deeper in, it's large rock only. Let's see if I can turn on the light. Okay, so we're standing at the mouth of the adit that was driven in the 1980s. And this is partially filled with water, but as we understand it, it goes for 300 feet. And we have hand-drawn maps of the adit from the era, from the 1980s, where they have sampled the walls of this, and it ranges from, well, there's lots of range, but I'd say the mean is 1.5%, sometimes it's 3% at different locations. That's copper only. And there's nickel on top of that they sampled, which is running about half to 0.7. And then there's platinum and palladium. All came out of this in hand-drawn mappings, and we're working on learning more. We just landed on Blue Lake, and we're looking at some of the rocks that the geo teams have seen in the previous days. So we've got Doug and Thibaut the pilot, and Thibaut's just picked up a shiny rock, and Doug's just picked up another rock, and we're going to hear from Doug.
Okay. The same stuff, but on a fracture surface. I don't know if you can see right here at the tip.
They can see.
They're little cubes of pyrite. So this is iron sulfide, and the thought is that the sulfur that ended up in the massive sulfides that we're hoping to find, like the material at the waste at the adit, the sulfur came from these rocks. And where it combined with the ultramafics, the sulfur went into the ultramafics, scavenged the copper, the nickel, the platinum, and the palladium, and then precipitated out into those massive sulfides. So this is evidence of sulfides in the host rock. It was intruded by the sills.
Okay. Okay, we're at the adit. Doug's just knocked a corner off. So, tell us about this, Doug.
Okay, so it's a massive sulfide, this is what our 5 million tons of resources is made of. With this particular sample, it's quite a little bit of copper showing. So that is what we're really looking for. This is the 5 to 7% copper. Variety, and maybe this section is the 1 or 2% copper.
So, if some of it is 5 to 7 and some of it is 1 to 2, all of that sounds really good, because 1 to 2 is more than enough. Yeah. But why is it some is 5 and some is 1?
That's a good question. So that'll probably be discovered about 5 years from now. When we drill the hell out of it and do a lot more work on the rocks. It becomes quite academic. So our job is to find the ore body, and the academics. Yeah, very nice. Very heavy. Density 4.3. So the gravity meter finds heavy rocks.
So what does 4.3 mean, Doug?
Okay, so water is 1. And quartz is 2.65. And this material, the black shales and stuff, probably 2.7. But open sulfide at 2.75. And the ultramafic sills, which are on the hills behind us here, those are about 3.2. But this rock is 4.3. So the gravity finds places where there's a concentration of mass. And that's what we're looking for. And we pray that the gravity comes up with some significant high masses that have not been drill tested, have had an adit drill done on them. The property is so big that surely, there's something left to be found here. So we're exploring. We're on the discovery. We're on the discovery trend, which is the most exciting phase of any exploration company. You go from having something small to finding something big. That's what we're here for.
Okay, so we're at Ready Lake Camp. We're about to go through the day's rock haul. Doug is coming down the boardwalk here, and Doug and the Geos will talk about what they've got today.
Pretty well.
Got some rocks.
So yeah, we followed the sill, kind of a foliated section, all through along 600 meters, and throughout was rusted. Quite lots of sulfides in it, and we saw so this is little chunks of calco all around. Some areas were better than the others.
Nice. And so where were you?
Close to the western hinge of the big hole. So we had shearing, but not the usual basalt shear, because it's so hard. And all that. Where else I should in there?
So it's got pyrite, yeah? Calco in this one? Yep. That's what we're looking for. Yeah, for sure. Baby in. Yeah, quite good calco. Yeah. Was this your rock?
No, I was not with him.
Yeah, it's good calco.
That's my haul. It's so yeah, we were following the same rock over about 600 meters. So it's mostly all the same unit.
So this is the host rock, and to see that level of chalcopyrite just in the host rock, that's great. That's really good. And that's the whole theory of this, is that some places it's got more copper, nickel, platinum, palladium than others. So let's find the rich spots, and then we can concentrate.
So the eastern limb, we didn't see that much. We didn't find we didn't find the sheared area. We only had the host rock itself.
Yeah.
Some areas contained copper minerals, but very, very little.
Yeah. And this is good. And there you are, slightly magnetic. So it will be. We've flown most of our old claims with airborne magnetics and electromagnetics. And this would show up as a weak magnetic target. So we know we're not looking at the strong magnetic targets. We should be searching those more.
Mag destruction throughout.
Exactly.
Yeah.
And look at this, it's hardly magnetic at all.
They're very
Very low pyrrhotite, but good chalcopyrite in it.
And the other one I have.
Nice.
Pretty much the same.
So that's the whole point. If we just randomly sample everything, take 2,000 samples and assay them, we're going to find something.
Yeah.
And we'll understand what we have.
Yep. And we'll know where to come back and look closer. Yep.
This is another one.
Nicole is not bad.
These are the two best samples I had.
Yeah.
Did you get like
Before lunch or
10,000
after?
ppm on one of your samples?
Oh, I'm not sure. Maybe both.
Nice.
Very pyrrhotite with chalco.
Not quite strong enough to hold it, but yeah,
Almost.
good strong piece of pyrrhotite. Great. Are you mixing up all your rocks?
No, I think we're doing good right now.
Yeah, nice. Little blades of chalcopyrite all through it. Very nice.
So, Doug, is this from an area we already had inside the 5 million ton
I'm
count?
not sure. We're gonna have to look at that.
It's the highland.
Well, anything up there is not in the count.
There you go.
The count is Pogo Center and Blue Lake 1 to 5.
Oh, that's highland.
The reserve. Yeah.
Yeah. So this is outside of that.
Resource. I should.
But that's the nodule.
Sure.
The-
Fantastic. That's what we're looking for. Yep.
So it was
This
a
is
nice
the low
day.
grade we're looking for.
Yeah, exactly.
Yep.
Yeah, this is so we're closing in on the second hinge, so the anticline.
Yeah, come and show me on my
Okay.
map.
We just passed the syncline, and then we're going to the anticline.
C'est pas mal ça.
So you got visible copper here, Phil?
Visible chalcopyrite. Copper minerals, yeah. Yeah, that's the one. So that's a big chunk. So,
Right there, you mean?
yeah.
Quite strongly. And finer grained. And it doesn't seem as dense.
It seems. It doesn't? But
It should be, but
to me it seems pretty dense.
To me too.
well, I didn't carry it all day.
Yeah. No, carefully enough. Yeah.
That's good.
There's a bigger one.
It was not as boring a rock as we thought.
Wow. Yeah. I should get one.
Here.